And a good morning and welcome in. It is Mornings in Meridian here on this Monday after Thanksgiving. And good morning, folks. Glad you're a part of the show here on Mornings in Meridian. 10 minutes into the 7 o'clock hour here on the two best hours of local live talk radio here in East Mississippi and West Alabama. Who are we? I am Rob behind the buttons, and Charles Frazier back in on a Monday after Turkey Day weekend.
That's right, not doing anything. Pushing no buttons.
Pushing no buttons.
Yeah, just sitting here drinking coffee.
Drinking coffee and just talking about stuff.
Just talking about stuff.
So, but of course, our number, if you want to jump in, is 601-485-9191 as we get back into the swing of a full week here on Mornings in Meridian. So how was the long holiday weekend?
Well, I had Thursday off. That was my holiday.
That was about it, right?
Beyond that, it was a long weekend, I'll tell you what.
That was pretty much it,
yeah.
right?
Yeah, but it was nice. I mean, I had a good Thanksgiving. You know, disappointed with the results of the Egg Bowl, of course, being a State fan. But,
game was a lot better than a lot of
well,
folks
you're right
expected.
about that. And so it was certainly entertaining. And watched some kind of football throughout the day. Had some nice time with the family, and then back to work on Friday.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
So,
how about you?
Had Thursday and Friday off, and had to work a good bit on Saturday at one of the other 50 jobs.
Right, exactly. Job number 38.
Exactly.
There. Okay.
And did a lot of cleanup at the house yesterday.
Oh,
Still dishes piled up from Thanksgiving, so that was not fun. So
you had a dishwasher.
Well, we did. It's just some stuff you can't put in the dishwasher.
No, we had to use the fine china. You can't wash that in the dishwasher.
Some of that you can't.
Wash,
yeah, you can't do it.
Right.
So, but other than that, it was a pretty good weekend. So,
good.
A lot to get into here on a Monday. Lot of violence over the last several days here in Lauderdale County in the city of Meridian. We're going to get into that extensively coming up because obviously we did not have a show on Friday, so we didn't really get a chance to unpack everything that happened with the shooting situation out in the county. I've got a lot of audio here we're going to play from that story. Also, another shooting happened in Meridian that we're going to talk about. So, what do we go? Here we go again, right?
Yeah.
Here we go again.
Starting with the shootings. It's Monday morning. What else should we do?
Absolutely. And also hiring and firings in college football. Of course, that's always to be expected this time of year as well. So a lot to get into here on a Monday. All right, first call of the new week. Let's go to the phone right now. Hey, caller, welcome in.
MAGA morning, true American patriot.
Wow, has right out of the gate.
Jeez, I didn't even have my coffee yet.
Wow.
Lions, tigers, and bears, and hazmat, too.
As we just said right off the top of the show this morning, more violence over the
Oh, my God.
over the weekend.
It gets worse. But I've got an after-action report.
Okay.
Mr. Benny.
Oh, boy, here we go.
Telling tales.
I call him Mr. B, but I'm going to start calling him Mr. B-E-E, because he reminds me in the spring of a big yellow and black bumblebee going from one beautiful flower to another one to another one. And he's kind of like a fine cutting horse. He's working that herd of heifers and cutting one free, you know. I never saw him sit down the whole night. He's an inspiration to me.
Oh, I love it.
But I was sitting there watching him, you know, and I turned around, and this fox walked through the door. Now, I've been to a couple of county fairs and some other unmentionable things, but I don't think I've ever seen anything quite like this. She had a pair of black leather pants on. I've never seen a pair fit tighter or look better. And a pair of boots about up to her knees. And I thought, whoa, look at here, you know. and so I danced with her a few times, and I told her, I said, ma'am, I want you to know your entrance in your ensemble was duly noted and duly appreciated.
I love it.
Yeah. I told her, I said, I'm just a good old true and loyal son of the South, but I'm a red-blooded American boy.
I tell you what,
I make no pretense about it. I said, I'm an old dog, but I ain't a dead dog.
That sounds like the place to be on Saturday nights.
Well, it's always something going on. And those girls get out there and do that Western line dance thing like they do in different places.
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah.
And I'm just pretty much lost. That ain't the way we used to do it. But I think what I'm gonna do. He won't upstage Mr. Benny. John Travolta couldn't upstage Mr. Benny. But I'm going to get me some video about the old-time jitterbug dance and get me a dance partner and dance the jitterbug out there or do the stroll. Now, that's old-timey, but that's the way it was done. But get back to the local war zone. It's horrible.
Yeah.
It is absolutely horrible, and I don't know a solution. I'm at a loss. But I just wanted to give that sector report from the VFW, and Mr. Benny shine like a brand new silver dollar. and that ZZ Top song kept playing in my mind. Here they come running just as fast as they can, 'cause every girl's crazy about a sharp-dressed man.
Yeah, I love it.
I love the Monday morning.
Roger that. Appreciate it.
It's the Monday morning Benny report, and I
love it.
we need to have one every Monday.
We need to have that as a segment every Monday
do, right.
here on the show.
What is he up to?
It's the after action Benny report. So I'm trying to picture that, the leather pants and the boots. Man, like I said, the VFW is a place to be on Saturday.
The VFW, that's right. Wow.
If you have an after-action report, call us now, 601-485-9191, as the mayor of Sicalina gets another big shout-out and a hazmat salute here on Mornings in Meridian. So, of course, we're on the radio at 102.1 FM, online at WALT-Meridian.com, and on Facebook. Yeah, you can watch us on Facebook, WALT Talk Radio. We're on YouTube and X, formerly known as Twitter. So
that thing, yep.
We're all over the place this morning. So,
everywhere. Multimedia.
And, of course, another place you need to be at is up in Philadelphia. They're at Doc's Toyota.
That's right. If you're thinking about buying a new Toyota for Christmas 27 days away, you better get shopping. But, if you're thinking about going somewhere else, don't, because Doc's has the best deals. In fact, we like to say there is no deal like a Doc's deal. Now, you can check them out online, docstoyota.com. They list all their inventory there, both new and used. They've got a huge selection of new inventory and also pre-owned. They've got some of those 2024 Tacomas in. I'll tell you what, it's a sharp-looking car or truck. But also, their pre-owned inventory has been through the rigorous multi-point Toyota inspection process, so you know it's a good quality car. As I said, check them out online, docstoyota.com. Of course, go see them on Highway 16 West, right up the road in Philadelphia. Give them a call, sales 601-781-8017. Of course, service is 601-600-3786. That's Doc's Toyota in Philadelphia, Mississippi. Remember, there is no deal like a Doc's deal.
All right, our number 601-485-9191. Yeah, a lot of stories to get into locally, and hopefully Zane will give us a shout this morning and let us know how the Christmas train visit went yesterday. Right. Saw some pictures on social media yesterday. Looks like it was a great turnout as folks really embraced the Christmas train being in town yesterday afternoon.
The Christmas train.
The old Christmas train.
Well, it was good. It was a little cooler weather, so it was nice. It was Christmassy.
Absolutely. So, speaking of cooler weather, we're checking in just a degree or two above freezing this morning. Yeah. So, very chilly out there. Going to be up to 54 degrees today. And we're going to get below freezing tomorrow night. They're saying 29 tomorrow night. So, kind of winterize everything if you haven't already. And if you haven't, well, that's on you. So
tomorrow night, 29. Tonight, what, about 30? About freezing, I think.
Yeah, it's going to be about mid-30s tonight. So not going to be quite
that's pretty chilly, too.
It is. It is. Yeah. So getting to the violence in the county and the city over the weekend. I guess we did have one incident in Meridian on Saturday night. We'll get into that one coming up here in just a moment. But we're going to backtrack all the way up to Thursday into Friday, I guess you would say. And there is a suspect that is in custody with the Lauderdale County Sheriff's Department during that overnight shooting that happened. He was charged in the Friday morning killing of a man at a home out in Lauderdale County. It is Terrell Adam Milello. And Solly said in a statement to the local media that Jonathan Ray Parker was shot and killed at a home at 9417 Highway 495. A 27-year-old woman was also shot in the incident. They did search for I guess it was in the suspect's vehicle overnight at 5 a.m. They spotted his vehicle and chased him, Solly said. that Malello ran his vehicle into a home on A.C. Brown Road in the Center Hill community. Solly says there was an exchange of gunfire. He also said that he shot a deputy in the process as well. But I do have a little bit of audio, courtesy of our friends at WTOK. There was a press conference that was held to kind of explain the situation. I'm going to let that kind of play right now. And here's Sheriff Solly. He might be listening this morning. He can give us some more details if he can. And this is kind of the rough details about what happened in that incident. I guess it would be like late Thursday night into Friday morning.
Yeah.
So here we go, Sheriff Solly from a few days ago.
Last evening at 11:30 p.m., E911 received a call that 2 people have been shot at a residence at 9400 block of Highway 495. When deputies at Metro responded and arrived at the scene, they found one white male, Jonathan Ray Parker, 31 years of age, deceased. Another white female, 27-year-old, was shot and was transported to a local hospital. Based upon the investigation, a suspect was developed, a black male, Terrell Adam Malello, M-E-L-I-L-L-O, 25 years of age. Deputies began a search of Lauderdale County for the individual. They had received information concerning a vehicle he may possibly be in. This morning around 5 a.m., one of the deputies spotted the vehicle, attempted to make a traffic stop. A pursuit ensued out into the county. The individual then pulled up into a residence, hitting the residence with his vehicle, exited his vehicle, and a gunfight ensued between the deputy and the individual we now have in custody. Multiple rounds were fired by both. The deputy was struck one time in the lower abdomen area and is currently in surgery at a local hospital. We do anticipate a full recovery of the deputy. I need to put in the Mississippi Bureau of Investigation is handling the shooting scene of documenting all the events that occurred at that location.
All right, that was Sheriff Billy Solly. That was back on Friday with the incident that happened out in Lauderdale County. So kudos to the Sheriff's Department on getting that suspect apprehended. And, of course, he mentioned there was a deputy that was struck once in the abdomen and went into surgery, and it sounds like he's going to make a full recovery.
Good. Okay.
So, so kudos. And there's a lot of other underlying circumstances with that shooting too that's starting to be unearthed somewhat, involving the suspect and a lot of folks at that residence. But man, what a tough situation out in the county over the holidays.
Well, and I mean, you see emotions getting higher during the holidays, and especially this is my understanding is that it's centered around a domestic dispute, a separation, a couple that was in a relationship no longer, and then, of course, the separation during the holidays is just that much more difficult. Not to justify the actions of the perpetrator, but just saying that the emotions tend to run high. And we see this sort of thing, an increase in these domestic issues during the holidays, just because people have such an emotional response,
And also, once again, great reporting by WTOK on this as well, as they went out to the residents over the weekend and actually talked with a witness that was there on the scene when this all went down. And there is a lot of dog barking in the background here, so when you get some folks on your property, the old yappers start yapping a little bit.
They do.
And this is one of the witnesses that was at the scene when this all went down a few nights ago. If we can get the computer to run correctly.
My neighbor came running from her house and came up across my porch bleeding, just bleeding everywhere from 2 gunshot wounds to her arm. When she proceeded to come into the house, that's when we found out that her estranged husband had busted out her front window and started firing into the house with her and her friend in there. And she took off and immediately came running to my house. And then we just kept her as best as we could and tried to keep her as stable as we could till the Metro and the law enforcement got here. 11:28 is when she came down here. There was about eight different law enforcement officers, 2 investigators, 2 Metro ambulances. Metro stopped there first to see if they could resuscitate him, and they could not, so they came straight here to get Devin. Devin Morello was the female that was shot. I do not know the gentleman that was shot up at the house, but the gentleman that did the shooting was Terrell Morello. On many different occasions, the law has been called to the house. She just recently got separated from him.
There you go. So, like you said, Charles, domestic dispute, and sound like there's been other incidents in the past, and unfortunately, it led to what it led to the other night.
Sure, and I'd be interested to know, were those incidents based on domestic violence, and was the perpetrator, kind of what happened with any of those, if that was the case. It could have been other issues as well, but and so was there a history of domestic violence, and then it kind of led up to that, and that's kind of a pattern that we've seen before. So, and what can we as a society do to prevent that sort of thing happening? Besides,
Absolutely.
I'm going to lock them up.
And of course, folks that live in the neighborhood, when you have someone come up to your home like that, I mean, that's pretty traumatizing for some folks as well. 11:30 at night like that.
But what a great neighbor. I mean,
absolutely.
Took her in and did what they could to take care of her until Metro arrived.
So kudos to the Lauderdale County Sheriff's Department. They got the suspect in custody, checked all the right boxes, and kudos to Sheriff Solly and the staff there. And we wish full recovery, obviously, to the deputy who was struck in there. And, of course, MBI will take over the situation.
Sure, and the victim,
shooting.
the woman who was shot twice, I think, in the arm. So,
absolutely. Yeah. So that was violence out in the county during the holidays. Now, we did have another situation that happened in Meridian on Saturday night. It was a party that was in the 300 block of Sweet Gum Bottom Road that took a negative turn Saturday night when gunshots were also fired at this particular spot. It was just after midnight. Meridian Police and the Lauderdale County deputies were also called out. They reported to a call of gunfire reported at that address. Now, the Lauderdale County Sheriff's Office has confirmed that the party was very large and at least one individual was shot and taken to a local hospital. Now, the Meridian Police Department is actually handling this particular investigation, and that is really the latest details we have on that particular situation as well. So both law enforcement agencies responded to that. So it sounded like it was a pretty large gathering, and something kind of got out of hand there pretty quickly.
Well, and there was another report that I read that said that the emergency vehicles and the sheriff's department or the police department had a difficult time getting to the location because there were so many cars parked that the road was inaccessible. So, you would think that somebody in that area would call and say, "Look, there's something crazy going on over here." But if it was that big, then you can throw some alcohol in the mix and a whole bunch of people and no kind of law enforcement presence that as you do in festivals and things of that size. Then I mean it's a recipe right there.
So it sounds like we always talk about the shootings and the crime and whatnot here in Meridian, Lauderdale County, but these two particular incidents that happened. Domestic incidents, especially the one we just talked about that happened Friday morning, early Friday morning, Thursday night into Friday morning.
Well, that's certainly domestic incident,
and the other one we're not sure about. With it being a party, something got out of hand.
Gangs or who knows, rivalries or just somebody mouthing off and being stupid. There's no telling.
So we have no details about that one. So the Meridian Police Department is handling the investigation on that particular one.
But nobody was killed. The person who was shot was
went to a hospital,
and we don't know his status or their status at this point.
Don't know that at this point. So, So as we were all doing our Thanksgiving stuff over the weekend, that happened over the weekend.
We were behaving. Yeah,
we were behaving.
I was eating turkey.
I was eating turkey.
Sleeping.
I was sleeping after that, too.
And napping on the couch.
Exactly.
Right.
So, but once again, law enforcement very busy over the holiday weekend. So
I think, and that's probably what they anticipate. Anytime there's a holiday weekend, whether it's Thanksgiving or Christmas or, there's probably the two big ones where there's a lot of family and a lot of emotion tied up with that, a lot of memories, things like that, then people go a little bit off the wall, I'm not sure what happened at the party. That sounds like it's something that's more of an isolated incident and could happen any time of the year. But I think the domestic thing is probably a result of, the time of year that it was, the holiday.
Still amazing, though. There was that many people there, and they couldn't get access to get.
They had difficulty getting access.
Difficulty getting access. So many people at one residence right there. Good Lord.
That's a red flag, maybe.
That was a party. Good
Yeah.
Lord. A lot of folks there. So, but once again, kudos to all law enforcement agencies keeping us safe and doing what they can over the weekend to get suspects in custody and doing investigating. So,
Definitely.
a lot going on out there in the public. So, we're going to take a break here on Mornings in Meridian, but when we return, we'll take more of your phone calls. Let us know how your Thanksgiving weekend went. Our number 601-485-9191. Of course, the ceasefire over in Israel is about to come to a close here, the 4-day ceasefire. More hostages have been released as well. So we'll get into some of that.
Yeah.
So we'll take a break. We'll be back. You talk about it, and you shall receive it. Has mentioned sharp-dressed man. Well, it goes out to the mayor of Sokolina.
It's our little Benny tribute, isn't it?
Like I said, man, the VFW on Saturday nights, that
happening
is the
spot.
place to be, it sounds like. So,
Yeah.
final Monday of the month of November. It's hard to believe.
Wow.
Yeah, 601-485-9191 is our number. And this portion of Mornings of Meridian is brought to you by some great neighbors down the road here from us here at WALT. And that is Billy Adam Calvert and his awesome staff there at Southern Business Supply.
That's right, 5685 Dale Drive. They're open Monday through Friday, 8 to 5. Give them a call, 601-485-2447. But what I do is every Monday morning I look at all the office supplies that I need, and there's usually a bunch of stuff, whether it's paper, staples, tape, all of those good things. Stapler. And I just go to southernbusinesssupply.com, and, it's so easy. I just log on, and all my information is populated already, including previous orders. Click the button, hit send, and then it is there the next day. Can't beat that kind of service, can you? You don't have to wander around a big box store and try to find what you're looking for, or take the time to actually go down there and try and park and all that in the parking lot. We don't want to deal with that. So the way to do it is just go online, southernbusinesssupply.com. Or, of course, you can go see them because it's easy out there on Dale Drive. 5685 Dale Drive right here in Marion. 1485 Southern Business.
Of course, you heard there on the Fox News update a few moments ago about the 4-day ceasefire over in Israel. And, of course, I think the best word that I've seen used about this so far has been fragile. Fragile ceasefire. But, 14 Israelis and the first American were freed in third exchange under the 4-day truce that the United States said it hopes would be extended. In turn, Israel has released 39 Palestinian prisoners as well. Mm-hmm. So, but one of the, 14 Israelis and the first American have been released. It was seen her name in the news a good bit. The 4-year-old Abigail, Eden? And then, of course, a dual Israeli-American citizen whose parents were killed in the Hamas attack that started the war back on October the 7th. So, yeah, I've seen her name a good bit in the news here recently. But Charles, 4-day ceasefire is about to come to an end. So, but these hostages, seeing some mixed reports on this morning as far as,
I mean, I'm surprised that they were as well treated as they were. Now, there was, I think, an elderly lady who they say was not in the best of medical condition upon her release, and I don't know if she was not, getting the medicine that she needed or exactly what was going on. But for the most part, they were fed, they were kind of, taken care of much better than I thought. Now, only one meal a day and things like that, but still, I think we all had a lot of fear as far as, what was being done to them as they were being held. But it seems that the ones who were released were taken care of. Now, I think that probably some others, maybe the Israeli soldiers that have been taken, I doubt that they were treated as kindly. So, but Hamas obviously had an agenda with this, and they knew exactly what they were doing when they were taking the hostages. Well, they knew exactly what they were doing when they were filming the brutality as well. So, I think this is all planned out and designed to, elicit the Israeli response, right? But also to take care of the hostages, so they had that negotiating power. That they still had them to negotiate, and I don't know if they're releasing a lot of high-profile Palestinian prisoners. Right. It seems that they've got a lot of teams and things like that they're holding, and those seem to be the most of them. But there's not a whole lot of information about those that they're releasing.
Yeah, there was an interview on Fox News this morning. It was a relative of one of the hostages. They had released some kind of a list, and that person was on a list, but the list ended up being fake or whatever, and they were waiting to see if that individual was going to be released today or not. But, yeah, this is the fourth exchange that was expected today, the last day of the ceasefire, during which a total of 50 hostages and 150 Palestinian prisoners are to be freed. Most are women and minors. So that are being released. So, but yeah, I saw the interview this morning, and that is very tragic for a family. There is a list released, and it ended up being fake because there's so much propaganda that has been mixed up in this whole war to begin with. But yeah, the 4-year-old that was released has gotten a lot of media attention because her parents were killed in the attack, and now she's hopefully going to be okay.
Yeah.
And going to be, I think they had transported a lot of these prisoners to, there was a hospital over there and just outside of Tel Aviv where they had transported a lot of them to get some more care. But I'm like you, I'm surprised they were taken as well care of as they were. So
and you wonder if they had just kept some of them, kind of taking care of some and then others that they,
there's probably more to it than we know right now. But yeah, the ceasefire comes to an end at some point today. It's a 4-day ceasefire, but as that conflict continues.
But what it does, though, it does give them that bargaining chip as well for the rest of them, saying, look, we took care of these ones, so the others are still alive and well. Now, whether or not they are remains to be seen, but it certainly would give an indication that they are. So it gives them a stronger bargaining chip than they would normally have, you would think, just being Hamas holding hostages.
And also, I did see where Elon Musk made a swing through there, too, and made a tour through Israel. And they showed Musk along with Benjamin Netanyahu, Prime Minister. He was walking near the Gaza Strip. Of course, they were all in full body armor, obviously. Right. And so Musk made a swing through there.
And what did he do that for?
Don't know. Elon!
I had a free weekend. I thought I'd go to the Holy Land.
Hey, I'm just going to make a swing on through there.
Swing through.
No big deal.
It's not like Netanyahu's busy at the moment. Okay. Yeah.
So, but where do you see this thing going after the ceasefire ends? I mean, what do you think the next steps are here?
I think that they're going to continue doing what they're doing. They're going to go through the entire Gaza Strip. I don't see another way around it. That's what they said they're going to do, and I don't think they're going to back down.
Yeah, it said, reading a news story here. Let's see, got some more updates coming in here. I love the internet. It just kind of updates here in real time. Yeah, there is some details that are emerging of life in captivity after some of the hostages were freed from Hamas. Says information about the conditions have been tightly controlled. Family members of the victims have begun sharing details about their loved ones' experiences. Most of the free hostages, though understandably shaken, appear to be in stable condition. One woman said her cousin and aunt, Karen and Ruth Munder, were fed irregularly, having eaten mainly rice and bread, and lost around 15 pounds in just 50 days. Her family member said they had slept on rows of chairs pushed together in the room that looked like a reception area and had to wait hours before being able to go to the restroom. Of course, Ava Adar, the grandchild of 85-year-old released hostage, Yafa Adar, said her grandmother had also lost weight. She said her grandmother was taken captive, convinced that her family members were dead, only to emerge to the news that they had survived. 18 foreign nationals mostly have also been released. Just basically a lot of details about the conditions, like you just mentioned right there. So, but yeah, they were given one meal a day: cheese, cucumber, pita, bread. Basically, just that one meal, very very small portions.
And what's interesting is that they said they were eating the same thing as the captors. So those that were holding them were eating the exact same meal, which was, kind of interesting. It's not like they were having, I'm going to eat this Big Mac while y'all enjoy your pita bread and cucumber,
Yeah, and the reason for the Musk visit, and I do have details on that here for you as well. Elon Musk was set to meet Israel's president amid anti-Semitism controversy. So something going on there maybe with X, formerly Twitter. See, I have a hard time. X, formerly Twitter.
Right.
Just call it Twitter. But yeah, so that I guess that was the reason for him making his swing through Israel over the long holiday weekend.
Okay, for an anti-Semitism policy or
a controversy.
Okay.
Let's see what we got here. Let's see. Yeah, Elon Musk will meet with the Israeli president, actually, as well as representative of families of hostages held by Hamas today, as the billionaire CEO of Tesla and owner of X, formerly Twitter. See, that's how they always have to put it in there.
Twitter.
Faces an anti-Semitism controversy. Musk is currently visiting the country for the first time since the terror attack on October 7th. Says Monday will mark the fourth day of a ceasefire to facilitate the release of at least 50 hostages in exchange for Israel's release of 150 Palestinian prisoners. Says they'll be joined in the meeting by representatives of families of hostages held by Hamas. Still trying to figure out the Musk angle on this whole deal. Yeah, the emphasis on tamping down anti-Semitism on the internet includes social media sites like X, comes as Musk looks to root out any anti-Semitic and genocidal rhetoric on the platform that has spooked advertisers since he took the company private last year. So there's the angle.
It's all about the money.
There's the angle.
Well, and one thing that he said was that free speech, anything goes. And,
Yeah.
Okay, we've got to backpedal a little
Starts affecting the pocketbook a little bit.
Well, wait a minute, not anything.
Yes,
but
several notable advertisers, including Apple, IBM, and Lionsgate Entertainment, have paused ad spending on X in recent weeks following a report by a left-wing group, Media Matters, that showed ads appearing next to anti-Semitic and pro-Nazi content. The social media company filed a lawsuit against the group, alleging it manipulated the platform's algorithms to get those ads to appear adjacent to such content. So, so I guess he feels like he needs to reassure the Israelis that that's
it sounds like he needs to be reassuring the advertisers and got nothing to do with the Israelis. But anyway,
yeah.
All right.
Yeah, Musk also sparked accusations of anti-Semitism when he expressed agreement with a post claiming that Jewish communities have spread hatred against whites that they claim to want people to stop using against them, to which Musk replied, "You have said the actual truth." In a later post, Musk went on to take issue with the Anti-Defamation League in another post because it unjustly attacks the majority of the West, despite the majority of the West supporting the Jewish people in Israel. This is because they cannot, by their own tenets, criticize the minority groups who are their primary threat. It is not right, and it needs to stop. So he gets on X, starts posting this, agreeing with this, and once again, it's another example. Don't get mixed up in any kind of Facebook, Twitter, X argument. Just stay away from it.
Well, it sounds like he's, testing the wind. Which way is it going today? Okay. Yeah.
Let me get mixed up in another, as I call it, a Facebook Twitter war.
Right. Why?
Why you have to do that?
Get involved.
But it sounds like to me, advertisers, he's trying to reassure the Israelis, but I think they've got bigger things to worry about than what's on social media.
So he's trying to reassure the advertisers what he's trying to do. But by having the photo op and the meeting with Netanyahu, he's showing, look, I'm pro-Israel. I'm
because they
totally
showed him on the news
against,
this morning. He was walking with Netanyahu, and of course there was photographers like crazy, and they had their body armor on, smiling, for the pictures and whatnot. So yeah, they're going to have that meeting today. So with the actual president there of Israel. So. So yeah,
wow.
So just another layer this is kind of an eye roll moment.
It is
here with Elon Musk, but yeah, that was another part of the Israeli story over the weekend. So we'll see what happens after this ceasefire rolls out today. I'm not sure when it concludes, at some point today, because it's probably 3 or 4 o'clock in the afternoon over there right now. So I imagine probably later on this evening is when the ceasefire will come to an end.
Well, I know that last week there was some footage released to a lot of journalists of body cameras, and that's how crazy it is. These Hamas, the terrorists, actually had body cameras recording what they were doing.
Yeah.
And of course there are other security cameras around as well that the Israelis had. So you put it all together and you have this kind of not a complete picture, but a pretty good idea of what was going on. And a lot of the journalists just said, I was sick to my stomach. I could not watch anymore. And it was just the brutality of the attack. And like I said, it was designed to be that way. I think they told these guys, yes, you go cut off heads, rape, pillage, and be as brutal as you can.
And then still people that are out there protesting in the streets, oh, that's propaganda. That's not true.
Well, what's worse is there are some who say, well, they were justified doing that. And it's like, what are you talking about?
I mean, really.
How crazy is that?
Yeah.
Any time there are innocent lives lost, and there certainly are on the Gazan side as well.
Oh, yeah.
But that's sort of the consequence of war. And, hey, if y'all are going to do that, yes, this is what's going to happen. And I think that there's always some civilian casualties, and it's unfortunate, and they should be mitigated. And I think the Israelis are trying to limit those, and they're doing what they can to move those people, out of the way of the troops that are coming through.
It's hard to believe.
But they have to eradicate Hamas.
Right.
There's no way that organization can continue to exist.
It's hard to believe we're coming up on 2 months. in about a week or so.
They are slow and methodical, and they're doing about it the right way. There's not carpet bombing the whole thing, saying, forget it, we're going to destroy it all. We've got to go through, and we're going to root it all out.
Absolutely. 601-485-9191. Before we take our next commercial break, let's thank our friends down at Premier Paint and Body.
That's right. You know where they are, right next to Johnson Dodge on Highway 39 North. Open 8 to 5, Monday through Friday. They've been providing the best auto body work and quality paint jobs for over 30 years. And their staff, boy, they got some experience. Over 100 years combined experience among that hard-working, dedicated staff. Of course, led by Danny Shelton. If you need anything, you go talk to Danny. All of their results are like new. So you got that little ding, dent, scratch, or something worse, bring it in, and then you get that brand new car. Well, maybe not a completely brand new car, but at least that part of it will be like new. And, of course, no job is too small or too large. They'll give you a free estimate. They'll work with your insurance company, and all of their work has a lifetime warranty. Give them a call today, 601-482-PAINT. And if you don't need them today, write the number down anyway, because when you need them, you really do need them. 601-482-PAINT. Just tell the tow truck driver to bring it down to Premier Paint and Body on Highway 39 North, right next to Johnson Dodge.
Yeah, it looks like that meeting with Elon Musk and the Israeli president and those representatives of the hostages' families is taking place right now. Going to be closed to the press, and after that, Musk is expected to visit some towns near the Gaza border that were devastated by the Hamas terror attack. So he's just going to do the whole tour.
It still doesn't make sense to me.
I like Elon Musk, don't get me wrong.
I do too. But
I tip my cap to him for what he's done with the social media platform. I get all that. But this is just kind of a bizarre deal, him doing what he's doing right now.
Yeah, and I'm surprised Netanyahu's giving him the time of day. I mean, not really the time of day, but giving him the day to spend time with him, and let's take a little tour of Gaza, Yeah, it's weird.
Evidently so.
Anyway.
All right, we're going to take a break here. Mornings in Meridian. We're just a few minutes away from the top of the hour, and got something on your mind, whatever it is, 601-485-9191. Hit us up, and we'll be back in just a few. All right, welcome back into Mornings in Meridian. Just a few minutes left here in the first hour, 601-485-9191. And let's jump right to the phone this morning. Good morning, caller.
Good morning, gentlemen. How are y'all doing today?
Hello. Sounds like Chief Deputy Ward Calhoun.
Sheriff-elect, I believe.
Sheriff-elect, too.
Oh.
Yeah. How are you this morning, sir?
I am doing well. I know y'all just have a minute before break. I wanted to tell everybody about tomorrow. We're having a blood drive in our parking lot. The blood mobile will be there from 2 o'clock to 6:30 p.m. And we would ask folks to come out and donate blood right after the holidays now and before Christmas holidays. You got plenty of eating in. You're in good shape. You're ready. You're not going to be feeling puny or anything. Come down tomorrow and donate blood. You can schedule a time if that works for you. You can go to our Facebook page, the Sheriff's Department Facebook page. There's some announcements on there you can find. There's a QR code. You can go to that website, or you can call our office, our admin office, and we can help with that as well. So we just need folks to come out and give some blood tomorrow.
So that's going to be from, you said 2:30 until 6?
2 until 6:30.
2 until 6:30. There you go.
Okay.
2 until 6:30. So right there at the parking lot of the sheriff's office.
Mm-hmm.
That's right. You still have to come in off the backside off Donald Avenue. I believe I shouldn't say it without knowing for sure, but I'm pretty sure they're paving this week.
Mm-hmm.
We think.
Okay, maybe.
That's my understanding, and get that 22nd Avenue, the boulevard open. It's going to make life easier to get to the building.
Right.
But kind of thought it would already be done when we scheduled this about a month ago. But that's all right. It's going to work out.
Well, Ward, before we let you go here in just a minute here, just want to give kudos to you and the department. I know it was a very tragic weekend over the holidays with the shooting that happened a few nights ago, but got a suspect in custody and worked the case very quickly.
Got good folks doing good work. It's one of those things you look back on and you're so thankful that it did not, could have been so much worse than it was. Extremely proud of the deputy who's training. We spent a lot of your tax dollars and a lot of time with accreditation, and a part of that is training, and that pays off when these kind of incidents happen. And his training kicked in. He survived. Bad guys in custody. Society wins. Ultimately, justice will be served, and we'll be, of course, preparing those cases at least the case we're working on, the homicide and the aggravated assault. And MBI, of course, is looking into the shooting incident, and they will present their findings to a grand jury.
And real quick, Ward, I don't know what details you can give us. The deputy involved, he's doing okay, right?
He is doing well. Talked with him. He's doing well, and hope to get to see him today. He was actually able to be released late evening out of the hospital. It's kind of amazing. I think back through the years, and somebody might have, 20, 30 years ago, you had some kind of surgery, you're going to be in there 3 or 4 days.
Right.
Not today. They get you in, get you out. And so he's doing well, and so we'll be supporting him, making sure he's got everything he needs to take care of himself, and we'll continue doing what we do.
Fantastic. Now, once again, blood drive is happening tomorrow there at the parking lot of the Lauderdale County Sheriff's Office, starting at 2 o'clock, right?
That is correct, 2 to 6:30. You can call our admin office, 601-482-9806. That's 482-9806. And you can press 1 for the admin office, and we can help you with that if you want to schedule a time. Or if you're on Facebook, just go to our Facebook page, and you'll see it in there, announcements for that. And there's a QR code. You can go to that website and schedule a time. And we'd appreciate everybody coming to do that and helping get some blood together for this week, for this holiday season. We hope we don't need, but we know that that's one of those needs that seems to always be out there.
Absolutely. Chief Deputy Ward Calhoun, Sheriff-elect of Lauderdale County. Ward, my friend, appreciate you out there.
Yes, sir. Y'all have a great rest of your day.
All right, there you go. Appreciate that. So blood drive tomorrow there at the sheriff's office parking lot starting at 2 and going until 6:30. Once again, you can call the admin office. He gave the number right there. And, of course, the Lauderdale County Sheriff's Facebook page has a lot of information there as well. So appreciate the sheriff's office for what they do here in Lauderdale County.
No doubt. Do a great job.
All right, we're going to take a break. Actually, we're going to join Fox News in progress.
With a handgun who, without speed.
welcome back in. It's Mornings in Meridian here on News Talk 102.1 WALT Meridian. About 10 minutes into the 8 o'clock hour. And, boy, lots of ways to stay connected to the show. Obviously, you can be a part of the show at 601-485-9191. Of course, we're on your radio dial at 102.1 FM. Online at WALTmeridian.com. And on Facebook, WALT Talk Radio, YouTube, X. We're everywhere.
Everywhere. And on the radio, too.
We ought to play Johnny Cash. I've been everywhere.
We are everywhere.
We are everywhere.
Okay.
So hope you folks are having a great Monday morning. This Monday after the long Thanksgiving holidays for a lot of folks, back to a 5-day week for most.
Oh, yeah. It's no fun.
No fun whatsoever. So who's next on our advertising list over there?
Oh, we got the good folks at Martin Roofing. Hey. Doug Martin Jr., Doug Martin Sr., they've been doing roofing right for over 30 years. You see their signs all over town. In fact, the only signs you see right now, because I think everybody finally picked up all their election signs. All those corner signs are gone.
Yeah, good job.
Of course, locally owned and operated, licensed in the state of Mississippi. They take pride in standing behind their work from start through cleanup. And I mean cleanup. It's like they were never there except for you've got a brand new roof. Call them today for a free estimate. And, of course, they'll come inspect your roof for damage, too. 601-485-5920. They'll be happy to help with all your roofing needs. And, of course, they're a member of the Better Business Bureau, and that is Martin Roofing.
We're going to get to our phone calls here in just a moment, but later on in the show, maybe in a few minutes, Black Friday has lost a little bit of its pizzazz, maybe.
Yeah, a whole lot of it, I think.
Yeah, we're going to talk about that shortly, but let's go to our phone callers. Hey, caller, good morning to you.
Talking about Steely Dan's hit song?
Steely Dan.
Yeah. Didn't they have a song called Black Friday?
Well, maybe.
Might have, yeah.
I think they did.
Well,
it's more popular than the current one.
I think it's more popular than actual shopping day now, I think.
Yeah. I saw a bit of a report on that this morning on Newsmax. This lady that was reporting said that sales appeared to be better than expected. I don't know if that's good, but better than expected.
What did they expect?
It must have set the bar pretty darn low.
Well, what she said was in light of the trillions of dollars of charge debts that most of the people doing the spending didn't live through. The Great Depression and World War II and such, and they don't get it.
And no, Charles, we were talking about it off air, and Charles saw a report from a Best Buy where TVs were stacked upon
stacks of them. That's right,
and none of them hardly moved.
Right, and you know, I think that it was and that was just kind of one isolated incident. That people were not going for those big ticket items that they had. You know, and I think there's a lot of factors involved with that, but I think that's kind of nationwide that we've seen this reduction in this craziness of Black Friday, where people would go and line up either, 6 a.m. in the morning, 5 a.m., 4 a.m., camp out, or even Thursday afternoon. And I think that once the Black Friday encroached onto Thanksgiving Thursday, which is like, wait a minute, that's a family day. Now we're getting a little bit too aggressive with it. There was some pushback there. I think all of the footage of ridiculous fights and squabbles over a television or a toaster or whatever it was, that was just ridiculous. But also, I think that with online shopping, I mean, that's taking a major hit. I think people, why go to a Best Buy, or not to pick on Best Buy, or any other retail box store when you can buy a better deal on Amazon or an online seller and get it delivered to your door? So you buy it cheaper, and you don't have to go out for it. It's just a lot easier to sit on the couch and shop these days. I had one of my coworkers went to Walmart at 7 a.m. Friday morning for something for the restaurant, nothing to do with Black Friday.
Yeah.
Said the parking lot was empty, nobody was there.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Some time ago, I thought about Steely Dan and wondered what it might have to do with shopping, and I remember Googling or YouTube or whatever, YouTube, the tune to see, and it talked about when Black Friday comes, I'm not going to wear any socks and shoes, and I'm going to this and that, and I thought they must have been living in Miami.
Yeah. Probably so.
Yeah. When you had chief deputy on talking about the blood drive and paving at Donald as far as getting in there the back way.
Yes, sir.
Well, it made me think about the lady that called in, maybe when the sheriff was on, would have been, last Tuesday or Wednesday, and she talked about Brownsville site. She's the same person that had done research on the county school bombing.
Yeah, we talked about that a good bit, yeah.
And she said that she was interested in more information or discussion about it because she had been unfamiliar and that you guys had her contact information. How do I go about getting that?
I'm not sure if we actually have that here. I'll have to do some digging here. I think, Charles, did we write that down, I believe? We'll look and see if we've got it or not.
Yeah, I make notes, but I don't think I did.
I know she might. I know she listens to the program a good bit. We'd love to have her call up because I know that was a pretty enlightening and pretty interesting conversation
Sure was,
that day.
yeah.
So,
well, I followed some of that myself, and there's a lot more than she mentioned. And as far as the sites and places, for example, one of the ones that was pretty bad was Kerr McGee across from the airport, and I guess it had to do with the pole treatment that they used to do with the creosote and things. And then the my city council lady, late Barbara Henson, had shared with me back when they were putting the gray water line from the South Treatment Plant there by Kerr McGee up to Kemper County to supply the cooling water for the lignite process.
Right.
That they were fixing to sell city property, had declared it a declaration to declare it surplus. It would have been south of the Sears site that's now the Children's Museum, probably on 18th Avenue across from Love Kitchen. That used to be city dump, and it was also the city paving asphalt plant. So there was PCBs in that, and some of that soil had been removed and used at another site to build it up, a construction pad. And Mrs. Henson had told me that they were getting ready to I guess, let a public offers or bids go for that piece of property, and on the north side of the creek. And they didn't realize that the water line, the gray water line, was coming through there, and they had a couple of individuals that were interested in buying it to where they could sell the right-of-way back. And there's a lot of that out there, and I'd love to share it with her because I had also found a lot of that disturbing.
Yeah, I'm looking at the document that she referenced, and that was last Tuesday that she gave us a call. And looking at those sites, the targeted areas: 22nd Avenue corridor, the downtown historic district, the town of Meridian also listed on here. Now, the address of the priority sites were Sawashi Creek Dump Site, 18th Avenue and Grand Avenue, Soleil Steam Feed Works at 4th Street, the St. Louis Junk Company on 8th Street, and then Ingalls Salvage, the former Ingalls Salvage there on Dale Drive, were the addresses that were listed in that report. But yeah, it's about.
But we don't know how to reach her at this point.
No, I don't. Unfortunately, we cannot find her contact info in here. But
well, you have my number.
Yes, sir.
Okay, she could get it from you.
Yeah, absolutely. If she gives us a call, I've got your number here, and we'll pass it along to her.
Sweet, thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Right,
appreciate you.
Bye.
Yeah, of course, that was a pretty extensive conversation. We had one of our loyal listeners out there last week about that report there with the brown sites there. Having to do with garbage. 601-485-9191 is our number here on Mornings in Meridian. Let's go back to the phone line. Hey, caller, good morning.
Good morning, gentlemen. How are y'all doing today?
Hey, Zane.
Zane, what's happening?
Man, I tell you what, my feet are hurting me so bad.
I was going to ask how you did after
My
the
dogs are barking.
the Christmas train.
Yeah, see, I started out at 9 o'clock yesterday morning preaching 2 sermons back to back.
Oh, boy.
And then rushed down to get ready for the train to get everything out. And, man, it was a long day.
Man, I heard it was a line around the corner, folks lining up to see the train yesterday.
It was. They were back down at Planter Supply.
Whew, wow.
And it was cool. But we I got to watch the train come in yesterday and push in, and it kind of gets long and slow and boring dealing with the railroad because they'll move and stop and sit there and then move and stop, and there's processes going on people don't understand. But man, it can get long and slow and boring just sitting there watching it.
Right.
But they got it in. Some of the CPKC people came over to the museum, and the one guy that knew the count forgot, and he said, "Well, it's well over 3,000."
Wow.
And so I haven't heard the exact count. The train's supposed to leave in the next few minutes.
Okay, so it's
Oh, it's still here. Okay.
Yeah, it's still in Meridian, and they didn't have a crew to pull it out last night because they bring the office car train in with all the people on it, and they actually live on the train.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like a really cool experience. It's worth doing that job for free just to live on the train and get fed the food they get fed.
Mm-hmm.
Let me tell you.
What do they feed them?
It's basically they have a chef on board out of Canada.
Ooh.
A Canadian chef.
It's basically like eating at Weidman's 3 meals a day.
Nice.
I mean, it's high end. It's that's the railroad equivalent of a corporate jet plus a little bit extra.
Wow.
A little bit extra on the corporate jet.
A little lanyard.
I like it.
Mm-hmm.
But it's really cool. So,
that's a good
yeah,
gig.
there was I think 31 people traveling on the train. The different elves and everything, and it's like 6 or 8 of them are employees of KCS that manage the train and the heavy lifting and all that, and are hired KCS employees.
Mm-hmm.
And so they come back and volunteer to do it, and they just they do 2-3 week stints, I believe, and they just live in the lap of luxury with that. It's just really cool.
And then get dressed up like elves.
Yeah.
That's kind of weird, but
Yep, that's it.
Yeah, you get 3 weeks of great food, you get to travel, but you got to dress up like an elf.
Yeah.
Oh, well, I guess
Yeah.
I'll do it. That's fine.
Well, that's the thing. If you're going to eat that good for free,
Right.
I mean,
Right. I need the extra large elf suit, please.
Exactly. Especially after those
Does it
3
expand?
minutes.
I mean, how does that work? Right.
It's my stretchy pants.
Them elves looking
yeah,
chubby.
it was a great turnout. Meridian really supports that Christmas train. We had a great turnout. People coming over to the museum, and we raised a good bit of money down there.
Great.
And we had a good time, and we had hot chocolate. They sold out of that, hot chocolate and candy. We had Mrs. Claus there, and had all the little kids and everything going. It was a really cool event. We love doing it.
I love that Meridian, like you said, Zane, is still embraces it and comes out. I mean, thousands upon thousands of folks coming out. That's great.
Yeah, and they wait. I heard last night that some people waited 2 hours.
Wow.
And I mean, it's a long wait, but the line moves, and they had, out front of the museum, we had the Salvation Army band was out there playing. We had some carolers, and it was, it was entertainment out there to keep everybody entertained. So it was a lot of fun.
There we go. Fantastic.
So do you actually get on the train, do a little tour? How does that work? What do you do?
Yeah, they've got 2 cabooses and a 65-foot boxcar.
Okay.
It's got exhibits and model trains and Christmas decorations, all kind of stuff. So you come up on one caboose and go through the boxcar, and then come out another caboose, and then you get to walk down the side of the train. It's a stylized train they got built, looks like a locomotive and flat cars, and it's got the reindeer and the sleigh on it, and it's all lit up. It's really cool.
Gotcha. Okay.
Awesome.
Yeah, it sounds neat.
And then, of course, you get to come out of there, and they've got Santa Claus sitting there. So you can get your picture made with Santa Claus and everything.
Cool. I love it.
Did you get your picture with Santa? You and Buddy?
No, I didn't. I was too busy.
Yeah, I was about to say you were busy.
Yeah, Buddy wasn't scheduled to work on that one, so he had to stay at the office. And he was not happy when I picked him up at 9:30 last night.
Ooh.
Tapping his paw. Where you been?
Where have you been?
Mm-hmm.
He started sniffing me. He said, I can tell you've been at the museum.
I can smell the hot chocolate.
I could smell Christmas all over you.
That's it.
Love it. Well, and of course, your Clemson Tigers took care of business over the weekend.
Yeah, they dined on some chicken Saturday night.
There
that
you
was
go.
a good thing. And, there is a Clemson student that lives in Meridian.
No.
And I saw her getting on Amtrak yesterday going back to Clemson. And I'm like, that chicken ought to be tasty when you get back up there. And she's like, yeah, we won.
There's up at Mississippi State, one of the many jobs I have, there's a girl that works in the communications department. She actually went to Clemson, and she went home for Thanksgiving, and she came back Saturday, and she just was talking about, I got to get home and watch the game. I got to get home and watch the game. So she was just like, I got to get home and watch the game. So, but everybody's happy on that end. So.
You think the Egg Bowl is a rivalry. I mean, it's, it's big time. It's as big as the Egg Bowl or the Iron Bowl. I mean, it's a big thing.
I think
it divides the state for sure.
Yeah, I think everybody's rivalry has its own little special twist to it, I think, too. So, but yeah, I think all of them are pretty good across the board, so.
Yeah, well, they have this rock that all the players touch and then run down the hill into the field.
Yeah.
And the night before the game, they always have a vigil to guard the rock because one year the rock got stolen. And they said it jinxed the Tigers. And so there's a big thing guarding the rock, and that's a really cool thing to do. Go up there and sit around the rock and make sure nobody steals the rock.
Yeah, they had like a 30-year jinx, I think, over there at Clemson, didn't they? From like 82 to anyway, 81, whenever y'all.
And then Dabo showed up.
Dabo, that's right. Yeah,
Dabo comes along, and man, there they go.
Dabo,
they're always up and down.
Yeah, Dabo, he worried me one time running down that hill. He was running like 40 yards out in front of everybody. I said, Dabo, you're going to pull a hamstring running that fast down that hill, buddy.
Slow it down.
Yeah.
Come on now.
Good Lord.
You're not playing for Alabama anymore.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, good old Dabo. He's a good old guy.
He's a good one.
He is, no doubt.
Well, good deal. Good report on the Christmas train. Sound like it was a fun event to get the Christmas season kicked off.
It was, and hopefully we can do it again next year. Hopefully it's not going to change with the merger and the railroads and everything, because the Canadians do it a little bit different. But there were several of the members of the Canadian management that were on the train and around, and they were very impressed with how the KCS did everything. It's quite a bit different from the CP trains. So hopefully they're not going to steal our southern KCS train and take it to Canada and bring us one of theirs. Hopefully they'll build their own up there.
Yeah, I know last time we had you on talking about the Christmas train, that was a big worry with that merger and everything, but hopefully they come away saying, hey, we need to make that swing through Meridian, Mississippi again.
Yep, that's true. And with the old style train, with the KCS style, because their style, they pull up at like 10 o'clock in the morning and drop a stage down, and they got a few semi-famous artists that come out and do 4 or 5 Christmas songs, and they do a 30-minute show, rip the stage back up, and the train's gone to the next town, and they'll do 3 or 4 towns in a day.
Wow.
And like, who the heck is going to come out at 10 o'clock on a Tuesday to see that,
Yeah, probably not me, but
not the same thing.
It's not the same thing. So, well, all right, Zane, appreciate you checking in this morning.
You guys have a wonderful day. Take care.
Hey, thanks, Zane.
Man, great report there on the Christmas train.
Yeah.
3,000 at one point, maybe more.
What amazed me is that he kept talking about these Canadians, and we never once mentioned hockey. And
that's true.
I mean, we dodged that bullet right there, didn't we?
Maybe because I veered off into Clemson, South Carolina.
That's right.
I kind of veered into
that sports.
I veered into another sport.
I got you.
So that's what
turn, not a right.
That's what happened right there.
Right.
I was like, look over here, not over here.
Pay no attention to the man with the hockey stick.
He distracted me. Well, he did. Well, he did mention last time we had checked in, he hasn't got a chance to follow hockey that much because he's been so super busy.
That's
so
right.
He's more of a playoff guy.
I guess so. Well, that's the excitement.
Well, I mean, I'm kind of like that with some other sports. I'm kind of a playoff guy, so I'm just. Some of it's like I can't just hang on to the entire season, kind of like
baseball.
I
love 162 games.
I love baseball. It's probably my favorite sport, but 162 is a long time.
Yes,
it's a very long time.
So watching after the All-Star break.
Maybe a few.
Now we can watch.
Maybe a few. So 601-485-9191. We're right on top of a commercial break here on Mornings of Meridian. When we come back, we will dip into some of the college ball over the weekend.
Yeah.
the governor's race here in Mississippi, closest it has been in a long, long time, as all the election results did get finalized, obviously, a few days ago. So we got a report on that coming up. So more of your phone calls at 485-9191. We'll be back. haven't had a chance to look at the birthday list yet, but if he were still with us, today would have been Jimi Hendrix's birthday.
Wow. How old would he be?
79.
79. All right.
Born in 42 and passed in 1970.
The 27 Club.
Also, the late Eddie Rabbitt would have been 70 today. He passed away in 98, so a lot of dead folks on the, on the birthday list today. Let's see what else we got right here on the birthday list. The late Bruce Lee, another dead person, would have been 81 today. Robin Givens from the acting world, 57. Of course, she was in Boomerang with Eddie Murphy.
She's still kicking.
Yeah, she's still. Yeah.
All right.
There's your living person right there.
Hey, one's still alive. We got a live one.
Political daughter Caroline Kennedy is 64 today. JFK's daughter and co-founder of the Profiles and Courage Awards. Let's see, comedian Rick Rockwell is 65 today. And the late L.A. Lakers announcer Chick Kern would have had a birthday today. He passed in 02. So, pretty lackluster list as far as the living folks.
Whole bunch of dead people.
Whole bunch of dead folks on the birthday list today. Right. So, but if you are celebrating a birthday today.
And you're still alive.
And you're still alive. Happy birthday. So there you go. Well, I'll tell you who is doing a great job here in Meridian. That's our friends down at Purvis Business Machines. Roger always says, and yes, Roger will be back tomorrow, by the way.
Right.
We think. Purvis Business Machines has a beautiful showroom. You can almost eat an entire meal off the floor.
All right, not just dessert. I mean, eat the whole meal. Now, they're just great folks over there at their wonderful showroom, 4505 Highway 39 North. Of course, it's easy to call them as well. Copy. That number is very easy to remember. And, of course, if you want to talk about connectivity, that is the name of the game with Purvis Business Machines. They will connect everything, every device you have to that printer, copier, scanner that you can get for up to 85% off. You can buy a gently used, at least return color copier, saving up to 85%.
Wow.
It's like Black Friday every day at Purvis Business Machines. Check them out. Check them out online, gopurvis.com, of course, and they do have a wonderful showroom with just friendly folks at 4505 Highway 39 North, or give them a call, 601-693-COPY. Of course, their website is gopurvis.com, and what I really like about them is their motto, service, not excuses. Since 1979. They'll never give you an excuse, but they'll give you a great deal on a copy, I'll tell you what.
Zane said on Facebook here, says Christmas train and Palmetto Bowl trumps hockey. So he's got his priorities in line.
Okay. And he had to mention Trump, too, who was at the game, I believe. And
I saw that.
Kind of got booed, from what I understand.
Yeah, so, Trump would...
I know he trumped, but, anyway, whatever. Just throwing that in there, too.
There you go. So, a little bit closer to home here. The governor's race, of course, when you go back and look at the big political stories of the year, obviously that one's always going to come up here in our state between Governor Reeves and... Brandon Presley, who put up a good fight there, good campaign there. But after all the votes were tallied, of course, certification and whatnot, the final numbers are in, and Reeves garnered 50.9% of the vote in winning re-election back on the 7th, the closest Mississippi governor's race since 1999. Now, the entire vote total, Reeves garnered 418,233. to Presley's 391,614. So Reeves got 50.9% to Presley's 47.7. And remember, there was an independent candidate officially on the ballot, but she had dropped out before the race, and that was Gwendolyn Gray. She had 11,153 votes for about 1.4%, according to final county-by-county voting totals that was posted this week by the Secretary of State's office. So the third-party candidate took a little bit away right there.
Yeah, and we and I talked about that off the air, I thought that, my initial response was, a lot of those were probably taken away from Presley. But, the more I think about it, I wonder if, the flag issue still raising its ugly head.
Oh, yeah.
If people said, well, I don't want to vote for Reeves because of the flag issue. I'm certainly not voting for the D, and so I'm going to vote independent. So you wonder how many Republicans kind of made that shift as well, even though she was not a viable candidate at that point. But just, going to mark something down, and I'm going to vote for the independent. I don't know. It's just something to consider, but, You know, it was I think the Tate camp has to be pleased with the results of the win, but concerned about the underwhelming support that he had. Of course, he doesn't have another term in him anyway.
Right.
So as long as he's in the mansion for another 4 years, then I guess he's good.
Yeah, Reeves beat Presley by 26,619 votes, a tighter margin than the governor's race 4 years ago when Reeves defeated Jim Hood by 45,028 votes to win the first term in the governor's office. Now, Democrat has not won the governor's mansion in Mississippi since '99 when Ronnie Musgrove prevailed with the vote there. He received 49.6 that year compared to Republican Mike Parker's 48.5%. So yeah, there you go. So Ronnie Musgrove, last time a Democrat has won there. So yeah, in 2019, Reeves won the first term as governor by defeating then Attorney General Jim Hood. It was 51.9% to 46.8. So a little bit of a tighter race this go around. So by over 26,600 votes there for Tate Reeves. So a lot of the smaller counties, the 82 counties in Mississippi, of course, had to do the certification, obviously, of the vote, and they finally got all those into the Secretary of State's office here in Mississippi. So that is the final total there. So, but Reeves had already been declared the winner, obviously, on election night. So, but yeah, so the final tally is in.
A little tighter than we thought. Yeah.
Absolutely. So let's go to the phone calls this morning. Got a caller waiting on the line. Hey, caller, good morning to you.
How y'all doing?
We're doing good, sir.
Yeah. Somebody made a mistake, I just heard there a while ago. Somebody said they were 79, but they were born in 42. That makes them 81.
That was Rob's mistake.
I'm just
like to point that out.
Just reading what they sent us.
I know, yeah. Well, I was born 43, and I'm 80, so I knew that was out of order.
Right.
Yeah. Tell me what you were just talking about. What percentage of the people in Mississippi, what percentage of them voted?
Well, it was 800,000, 900,000 for governor.
Yeah.
3 million of the population, is that right?
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, less than a third, it looks like.
Is that 40%?
No, it's less than a third. So 32, 31, I'm not even sure.
Yeah.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Yeah, because the final total in the governor's race, once again, we can just do the math here real quick. Reeves got 418,233. Presley 3. So yeah, about a third.
Well, now that's the population though, so there does include children with that who are ineligible to vote. So yeah, as far as percentage of eligible voters, it may be closer to 40%. You're probably right with that.
Well, 30%, I guess that's better than nothing, but that people need to do better than that.
Yeah, you're right.
They do.
Yeah, because the local turnout was just a tick over 40%, I believe it was here locally in Lauderdale County. Still bad.
Well, that's the way it is.
Yeah.
Especially in this county.
Especially in this county.
Y'all behave yourself.
We'll try. Appreciate you out there.
Get my will made. That's what's happening.
There we go.
Hey, can we get in on that?
Yeah, there we go.
Well, you got to do it, you know.
That's right.
Yeah. I don't want the state pilfering around nothing there one of my bank accounts.
There you go. I love it.
Go.
Appreciate
Thanks,
you.
Y'all. Behave.
All right, we'll try.
All right, so actually we got about 1.8 million registered voters in the state of Mississippi.
1.8 million registered.
Does not mean eligible, means registered. So, and we had 800,000, 900,000 was the gubernatorial totals.
Yeah, 418,233 for Reeves, and then Presley was 391,614. Then Gwendolyn Gray just over 11,000.
So that's about 800,000. So yeah, it was almost close to 50%, but not quite of registered voters.
The registered folks there. So, but still tight
What's
race.
What's the point of registering if you're not going to go vote?
I know.
Why waste your time?
I know. I mean, it's, these circuit clerks. I mean, they put all the information out there, and I mean, we put it out there as well, and folks just
stay at home.
Go
get the sticker.
They didn't give me my sticker. I ain't going back.
You know, I bet if we gave them like corn dogs or something, they'd go out and vote.
Well, when they started doing the pens that time, they like the writing pens, and they stopped doing that. Then maybe that turned some people off.
I ain't getting a pen. I ain't voting. If your motivation to vote is to go get a pen, then you need to rethink your priorities.
That restaurant won't give me a discount with my sticker on.
Give them some fried chicken and vote, get some chicken.
I mean,
I'll go get some.
I remember that with they were
Give 'em a
always
beer.
there was always a list of places like people would religiously do that, get their sticker, wear it in, and I'm gonna get a discount somewhere, and it's like that'd be the only way they would go vote. And I'm like, if that's your only reason for going to vote,
to get cheap food, right? And take that cigarette off, give it to your buddy. You go in next, right?
In the words of Biden, come on, man.
Come on, man.
Exactly.
Where's some ice cream?
485-9191 is our number, about a 15 away from the 9 o'clock hour in some Glenn Beck. And we need to thank the Carr family down at Trucker Supply. And, as you always say, the clock is ticking for Christmas time.
27 days away. Yes, the clock is ticking. And Trucker Supply, one-stop shop for all your tools and much, much more. Anything you need from Yeti, they've got it. You want to get somebody a mug, a cooler, lunchbox, you name it. If Yeti makes it, they've got it, and they've got plenty of them as well. You can make it a Yeti Christmas at Trucker Supply. And who wouldn't be happy getting a Yeti mug? I know I would be. Just a little hint there, Rob. Yeah. And, of course, they got a full room of Milwaukee tools. Everything they make made right here in the state of Mississippi. And, they make great gifts as well. So go check them out, Trucker Supply. They're at 519 Highway 19 South. Got a great website, too, truckersupply.com. Of course, you can give them a call, 601-693-2316.
All right, fantastic. We're going to take a break here on Mornings of Meridian, but before we do that, I just want to remind folks that Saturday here on WALT, the Southeastern Conference Football Championship will be right here on WALT as Alabama takes on the Georgia Bulldogs.
Who you like in the game?
Ooh, after what happened Saturday? Still probably going to lean toward Georgia. Georgia's just been so darn dominant for the last, 2.5, almost 3 seasons.
Yeah.
Still like Georgia to win the football game, but boy, they
Milroe
didn't look very clean against Georgia Tech. Alabama obviously didn't look very clean against Auburn. Nobody really looked very clean in their rivalry games over the weekend.
But they're rivalry games,
but
that's what they are, and everybody gets up for them. That's the one game that everybody, you circle it on the calendar and say, that's the game we got to win.
I think the one team that you really didn't have any doubt they were going to lose a rivalry game was Georgia. I mean, Georgia
Tech. You mean?
I mean, Georgia Tech winning the rivalry game.
Georgia winning, right, yeah.
But I don't think there was any doubt in that because they got up by 2 scores, and Georgia Tech had tightened it a little bit toward the end. But Georgia had led the majority of that ball game.
But you wonder if Kirby was kind of putting in the second stringers, saving them for the SEC championship against Alabama.
Well, and they also, and a lot of coaches will tell you this too, that the week before a big game like what's about to happen Saturday, most coaches make things very vanilla.
Yeah.
As far as play calling goes, they don't want to show too much of maybe a scheme they've been working on or whatnot.
Yeah.
So maybe both schools, but Alabama, it almost cost them. But a 4th and was it 31?
Yeah.
Wow.
28 or something. Yeah, it's ridiculous, but.
There was a funny comment that was made by Chris Stewart, who works for the Alabama broadcasting team, and he said for folks that went to church yesterday morning, they're Alabama fans. The perfect spot to sit in church yesterday was in the back corner. Of the church, because that's where the touchdown pass happened, was in the back corner of the end zone. So I thought that was pretty fitting that he would put that out there with them pulling off that miracle there at the very
Incredible.
end. So.
Yeah.
But that series right there between Alabama and Auburn.
But I mean, a lot of great games. There really were throughout the weekend.
And of course, State put up one heck of a fight against Ole Miss.
Ohio State, Michigan.
Michigan was a great
game.
So
Florida State.
So before we go to break here, how do you think the committee is going to roll out the top 4 tomorrow night?
Well,
Georgia's going to be 1.
Yeah, Michigan's going to be 2. They have to be. Washington, they making a case, and Florida State with Travis Jordan out.
Jordan Travis.
Jordan Travis. Then you think, what's going to happen with that? But Oregon, I don't know. With a 1-loss team, they look to be one of the strongest teams in the country right now.
Well,
I don't know that you can put them in the top 4.
Here's what's going to hash out this weekend with Conference Championship weekend. You've got Alabama and Georgia. You've got Texas and Oklahoma State. Texas wins. They've got some semblance of an argument.
There'll be 6. I mean,
you got Michigan taking on Iowa. And I would think Michigan would win that ball game. And then you've got Oregon playing Washington. Those two teams.
That's the game.
Those two teams met earlier this year, and Washington won by 3, 36-33. This will be on a neutral field. So you would have to think the winner of that game will have a spot.
Well, the way Bo Nix is playing right now, I don't know.
He's my
Penix Penix is playing great too, but I think Nix is playing better right now.
I think the two guys that are probably the front runners for Heisman are Bo Nix and Jaden Daniels at LSU. I think
Daniels a monster year.
But right now, that's the games coming up this weekend. But remember, folks, if you've followed college football, this is the last year for the playoff 4 because next year they're expanding it to 12 next year. But it's not necessarily the top 12 in the rankings. It's some kind of a weird formula that they're going to use for the 12 next year. It would take me all morning to explain it to you. So, but regardless, this is the final year of the committee picking a playoff 4. So to speak. And Florida State plays Louisville this weekend. Louisville got beat by Kentucky over the weekend. So it's going to be interesting to see how those folks in one little room are going to decide this whole thing after this weekend kind of wraps up. Now, as far as Alabama making the national championship, I think a lot's got to happen.
Well, they beat Georgia.
If they beat Georgia, that's going to help them a good bit, but it depends on what happens in front of them.
Right. If Washington loses, if Florida State loses,
Texas lose. Because remember, Texas beat Alabama earlier this year, so there's a lot of.
They're still the one-loss team, so there'd be a lot of one-loss teams.
That's why sometimes sports will drive you nuts because a lot of people live in the what ifs instead of the reality.
Right.
But that's what makes it fun, right?
Of course. Speculation.
So there you go. So we're on the week of conference championships, and of course, new football coach at Mississippi State too.
Oh yeah,
Jeff Lebby, the new coach at State from Oklahoma. So we'll take a break and wrap up the show right after this. All right, welcome back to the show. We got just a few minutes left until Glenn Beck invades the station here. And, of course, Glenn Beck, followed by Clayton Buck. Great Sean Hannity and Joe Pags. A lot of the regular hosts are back after the best of week this past week for Thanksgiving. So everybody back to their normal routine here on this Monday.
Including us. Yes,
absolutely.
Except for Roger. Well, maybe it is his normal routine.
I was about to say, what are you talking about?
Okay, fair enough.
Hey, what are you talking about? Today is Cyber Monday. Do you get into the Cyber Monday thing? No. Okay. Conversation over.
Do you?
No, not really. I have before, but not anymore. It's just,
I've been getting emails about Cyber Monday, and we're honoring those Cyber Monday prices now. So it's kind of like this one event or one day where they're supposed to have all these deals. They've been offering them for weeks. So, I mean, what's really the difference?
Yeah, it says the Monday after Thanksgiving, the popular online shopping day was first recognized. They recognized it. That's what this says here.
Okay.
2005 is when, I guess, the Cyber Monday stuff started. This is the day you'll find online exclusive deals from fashion to electronics, with sales reaching, get this, $2.4 billion. That's billion with a B, dollars. Many online retailers will see a huge spike in profits, and shoppers will see their shopping budget go farther. So,
okay.
Yeah, each year, new trends emerge as consumers change their online shopping habits. For example, purchases made on a smartphone or tablet continue to rise each year. Last year, 46% of all Cyber Monday traffic came from mobile devices.
Only 46%?
I thought it'd be a little higher than that.
Okay.
So if you haven't started your Christmas shopping yet, today might be the day you want to do it, I guess, if you like the online thing. So I know we always say buy local, and that's what we continue to encourage you to do.
Sure.
But 46% on their smart. I figured it would have been 60 or maybe 70.
Yeah,
maybe.
I would think so. I don't know anybody who shops on a computer, but I mean, maybe they do. Either way, but and so you said how many billion?
2.4 billion.
And I wonder what the normal internet traffic is as far as sales go. You know, for a comparison, because I'm sure it's a lot anyway. I mean, I order stuff, all the time for the restaurant, from web restaurant sites, things like that, small wares and so on. Of course, I shop local for that as well. But
I just worry about, and I know this may be more of a local concern than anything, when you buy something online, you have it shipped to your house.
Yeah.
These folks that come steal packages and stuff, I just get worried about leaving a package on my porch or whatever, because this time of year, people get the sticky fingers and
they do. The porch bandits.
The porch bandits.
Yeah.
So, but that's my biggest concern with it. So, but because that type of crime continues to be out of hand every holiday season. So.
Yeah, and you would think that they would come up with a box or something that you could put in there that I guess you'd have to have the driver with a code or something to access it. But,
because I saw
drop it and it closes or something.
I saw a photo on social media over the weekend talking about Black Friday, leading into Cyber Monday, rather. And it was a husband getting home from work, and the entire porch was just flooded with boxes. And it was like, what? And she's like, I'm just shopping.
Just doing a little shopping.
Wow. So, but yeah, Cyber Monday is today. So, all right, we got time for one last phone call here. We got about a minute left. Hey, caller, good morning.
Ain't going to take a minute to tell you. Go into your shop and pull all the stuff you want to get rid of out of the house and the closet. Put it in a box. Tape it up, put a fake sticker on it, stick it on the front porch, and let them porch thieves have a field day.
Or leave something else magical in there. I don't know.
Yeah, it's like worse.
Oh, yeah, a lot of people will put dog poop in there. But
I was going to say that, yeah.
Well, there you go. That's a solution. That's a holiday solution. It helps with two problems. One, it gets rid of all your old junk. And two, it sort of makes the not-so-hardcore porch pirates decide whether or not they really want to steal a package.
Exactly. I love it. Yeah, we'll spread the word. I love it.
Yeah, y'all have a good day.
Hey, you too.
You do the same. Appreciate that. So,
the gift that keeps on giving the whole year long.
What's that smell come from that box?
It's just hard to get the dog to poop in the actual box,
Well, you got to get a little creative.
I know. I'm picking it up.
Another show, another day.
Yes, indeed.
Well, folks, that's going to wrap up Mornings of Meridian for today, and we'll be back in with you tomorrow, 7 to 9. But, Charles, have a great day.
You too. Thank you.
All right, Glenn Beck is up next, and what do we always say? Even on Cyber Monday, buy local.
Just buy local. That's right.